Have you ever seen one of those videos online that says something like, if you're seeing this video on this date, the universe is trying to tell you something, or click on this video to unlock your, millionaire future or something like that? Well, the video I'm about to talk about isn't quite that, but in retrospect, it kind of is. And I am feeling pretty confident that my life is about to change forever. So let's flash back about 9 months. Sitting in this very chair, partners out with friends, I'm home alone with my kitties, and I should have either been working on my dissertation research or grading papers or literally anything else productive. But my neurodivergent brain needed a dopamine hit real bad. And what's my default? Let's open some YouTube. Luckily for me, May Alice Suzuki's video appeared entitled, "I tried the CIA Gateway tapes to expand my consciousness. It worked." And I'll have that linked below. So shout out to May Alice Suzuki for that. One video, and that's really all it took. I was hooked. So watching May's video completely captivated me, and I could not stop there. No, 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 no. The dopamine was much too rich. So soon I was over on the CIA's website doing all of the research I could for these declassified documents. One of the most popular documents, or the most commonly known ones, is called Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process, which was officially declassified back in 1983, but was released publicly in 2003. And there are many, many others in the CIA's public website archives. Enough, in fact, for an entire weekend's worth of mind-blowing research, which is exactly what followed for me way back then, 9 months ago. So what is the Gateway, or the Gateway Voyage, as the Monroe Institute calls it? This is the flagship training program of the Monroe Institute, which these days, and back then for that matter, was a week-long or a multi-week institute or training experience that taught participants, how to enter and navigate expanded states of consciousness using a hemisync technology. So basically syncing the two hemispheres of your brain using binaural beats or something along those lines. This was developed by Robert Monroe in the early 1970s. And he called it the Voyage of Self-Discovery. And you created it for himself, but then developed it into a program to share with other people. Within the program, there are things that are called focus levels, all the way from 0 up to 21, focus 10 or focus 21. So for example, focus 10 is a state where your body is basically asleep, but your mind is awake, and you have higher levels of non-physical perception, where you're able to explore things that your body might not let you explore during your official waking hours. And there's a variety of other skills that are taught along the way, from basic skills to advanced. Things like managing your fear, working through emotional healing, strengthening intuition, and even advanced things like remote viewing and out-of-body experiences, which, to be completely transparent, I have not experienced. Gateway is all about accessibility, and so they do not think that people have to be avid meditators or have tons of experience with these methods in order to have positive experiences. And it does seem like some people are more naturally inclined than others to having an amazing and life-changing experience. The last thing that I'll point out is that this curriculum is secular, so it doesn't have any particular spiritual or religious connotation, and is really designed through a scientific lens. So I've been experimenting with this method ever since I learned about it in May's video. And frankly, she can explain it better than I can. I think she put a lot of energy and thought into her video, and I'm just kind of rambling and telling my story here. But to continue my story, that same night, I ended up going from the CIA website over to the Monroe Institute website to dig in more there, where I signed up for its newsletter. So months later, get the newsletter, don't really pay too much attention because I got a lot on my plate with a job and a dissertation. But I happened to notice that there was a documentary casting call, and that caught my attention. I've never really had the desire to be part of a documentary. I've never really had that much of a desire to be on camera. But some morbid curiosity was pulling me toward this opportunity, and I just decided, let's apply. Let's just see what happens. So I applied that very same day, way out of my comfort zone, but very excited, and kind of just did it more as a thought exercise. Like, I have to put myself out there and open myself up to doing, difficult, challenging, off the wall things. And so I did that, and I waited. And the deadline came and went. And when we were supposed to hear the results came and went. And just when I was kind of thinking that maybe I wouldn't get selected, I was invited for an interview. So that was exciting. I went into the interview very curious and excited and open. And again, I was accepted. And I don't know why, but I have been cast in a documentary about the Gateway experience at the Monroe Institute. And the documentary is called Instructions for Leaving, and I'll leave a link to the documentary website and the trailer in the description. And that's going to be filming in a very short amount of time. So I am beyond excited for what is to come. And when I really sit back and think about all of this, it's kind of funny how creepy the algorithm can be. It knew something about me before I did, that I was, craving something new, different, challenging, trying to expand my own consciousness and explore things outside of my comfort zone. And otherwise just sort of shake up the trajectory of my life. I'm an international psychologist and researcher, so I definitely have some skepticism, but I'm also optimistic given that this has been scientifically developed and researched over the years. And most of all, I'm just trying to be really open to the experience and see what comes from it, and to learn and grow alongside other people who are also seekers and curious people just like myself. And that's kind of what this whole channel is all about. I mean, it's not going to all be about the Gateway experience, or at least I don't think it's going to be. I think that's going to be a really transformational experience. But what this channel is about is really following the thread, and not just that Gateway thread, but the thread in all things, even when we don't know where things are headed. And especially, I think, when we don't know where things are headed, and trying to tune into ourselves a little bit more, and really honor our pathways and reflect along the way. We are here but lost. There's a whole story behind that, but that is my truth, and that has been my reality. And where else are we supposed to be if not here, even if we're lost? So if you're interested in my journey, if you're interested in Gateway, if you're just bored and letting the algorithm guide your journey like I let the algorithm guide mine, consider subscribing to see what's next. As I mentioned before, I'll link the documentary information below. I'll also link May Alice Suzuki's video below, as well as a small selection of the CIA documents. And yeah, it's real and it's wild, and you should absolutely read it, because I needed to read it for myself to be able to trust it. And I still don't fully trust it, but yes, do read it. Skeptics welcome and appreciated here. Thanks for listening and for following along. I look forward to sharing more with you very soon. Fanny signing off.